Saban said, "Yeah, we don't need him."
If you know me.
Yeah.
Oh. Hello and welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast. Not another sports podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon. Me and my co-hosts, Kevin and Jordan.
Yo, what's up? This is Kevin.
Yes, sir. This is Jordan.
And we are back. It's college football season. That is, and you know what we always do around here. We're going to kick this week off with something positive. And, of course, my something positive is college football is back. Yes, sir. Alabama is currently winning 41-13. Florida plays later on tonight. They play a mud team. But the game of the night is UGA and Georgia. Once we get done here, we're going to go home and partake in that game like everybody else. But what y'all got positive for this week?
My positive of the week is the same thing. College football is here. The air feels different when football is around. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
Like when the fans get together and just get together and celebrate the game and stuff like that. It's just good to have fans back in the stadium. And yeah, I'm excited. Miami, my hometown, didn't show up.
They showed up.
They showed up.
They were what we thought they were.
But it sucks for them. Florida plays at 7:30, so that's what I'm waiting for.
My positive first is that the Braves are still in first place, even though we got swept by the Dodgers. We found a way to beat the Rockies Thursday, and the Phillies lost last night. So, and then Alabama is still breaking all the stereotypes and the molds that I thought that we wouldn't be able to do when I was a kid. When I was a kid living in Georgia as an Alabama fan, we got made fun of a lot. They couldn't really talk about the play. Well, they could. Like we would beat Georgia, so they couldn't really talk about that. So they would talk about historic stuff. They'd be like, "Well, y'all haven't won a championship since '92. Y'all can't beat Auburn and LSU. Y'all can't. Y'all don't have no Heisman's. Y'all can't put no NFL talent in the league, and y'all don't have no quarterbacks. So we breaking all those molds. We continuously beat LSU and Auburn. Like it's not even Auburn is really more of a rivalry, but we have a stranglehold on them. We definitely let LSU slip in there last year, but
before last.
Yeah, but other than that, they can't really see us. We got 6 national championships in my lifetime, so we breaking that mold. We got 7 players in the top 100. That's the most by any school. So we putting top quality players in the league, and we got 3 quarterbacks that's starting in the league against each other. So we got quarterbacks, and our starting quarterback now has 344 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he's probably gonna win a Heisman this year. So, I didn't even mention the fact that we have 3 Heisman winners. So, yeah, shout out to us.
Said one game, he Heisman winner. Let's go.
No,
Let's
it's not just one game. I've been saying this.
Hey man. Anyway, we got as always, we got our weekly recap up next. Before we get into college football next week, we still got to wrap up our NFL prediction series. So, but before we get into that, we got to talk about Cam being cut. They said it wasn't based on that whole situation, but it was based on that whole situation. Belichick basically said with him not being vaccinated and then having to miss 5 days, you can't count on Cam. So, like I said, they weren't supposed to, like another team did, like we'll get into later. You're not supposed to use vaccination status and tell them whether or not that's why you cut a player, but I think that's why Cam got cut. But how y'all feel about the whole Cam situation?
It's unfortunate. I was rooting for Cam. I believe Cam is still a starter in the NFL. I believe he can still lead a team to a playoffs. And if you get a right supporting cast around him, a great defense, I think you could probably win a Super Bowl with Cam still.
That's for any quarterback, pretty much any quarterback in the league. If you get a good supporting cast around him,
No, I'm just saying like Cam Newton could be the determining factor on that team. You know what I'm saying? Like he could be the leader. You know what I'm saying? I still believe Cam Newton is that guy. And I don't blame him. I can't fault him if he didn't get the vaccination because that's a personal stance. That's something deeper than football. So I can understand his aspect if that's his decision. For the Patriots, I can understand it. Like Cam Newton wasn't there. Mac Jones had the reps. He showed out. He was like, he got it, and he's gonna be here. Cam, we don't know. This is like the second, third time, so we're gonna go with Mac. And Cam probably wanted to be released, probably. So, I feel bad for him because I believe it's gonna be a minute before he gets back on the team. But other than that, I can understand the situation on both sides. So.
It depends, because it's always the NFL. All it's going to take is a couple injuries, and somebody going to need a backup quarterback. So
yeah, but I think he's a starter.
Yeah, but that's how a lot of people got their chance anyway. Back up on a bad team, or somebody get hurt, and now they need a quarterback, and the immediate backup isn't getting the job done, and now you in the starting position. So I feel like it's going to play out. He gonna be on the roster before the end of the season.
Well, that partially answers my second question. My first question would be, were y'all necessarily surprised? Not more so by the timing, but the fact that Cam got cut. Were y'all surprised, or did y'all see it coming?
I didn't see him getting cut coming because I didn't think the vaccination thing was an issue until he got cut. That's when everything came into play because at first it was just a misunderstanding and Cam was coming back. And then I guess that at that point, that's when they made that decision because I think the story is Mac Jones had a scrimmage against another team and
The Giants.
Yeah, he like completed almost every single pass and stuff like that, showed out and stuff like that, and controlled the offense with the first team. So that was the determining factor, and Cam wasn't there. So I do believe the vaccination was the reason he wasn't. I mean, he got cut, and the reason he lost the starting position.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily surprised that he got cut. I am more so surprised that he got cut this early. I thought that they were gonna go with Cam the first couple of weeks, see how it went, and then would give Mac the reins later going down the line. But watching the preseason, I didn't really see much of a difference between Cam and Mac. I was expecting like more of a separation. I didn't expect Mac to be this ready, and two, I was expecting Cam to be farther along than he was because he wasn't really hurt coming off of last year, so I would figure there would be more time to train, and his arm did look stronger, but it didn't look much stronger than Mac's. So I feel like if it was that close, and the fact that he didn't have the vaccine, so necessarily if you're gonna go with Cam and you feel like at some point we're gonna have to make this change because he's not gonna be on the field for whatever reason, it makes sense to go ahead and do it now. And another reason why it didn't surprise me is because they signed Brian Hoyer after they drafted Mac, which gave them 4 quarterbacks. No team is really signing a quarterback if you just went out and drafted a quarterback and you just signed a quarterback. It wouldn't really make sense to sign a quarterback unless you don't see the starting quarterback you have being a backup if he doesn't win the job. So that's kind of where I saw Cam getting cut regardless. I didn't see it happening this soon. But my next question was, where did y'all see him landing? Because like I said last week, unless it's the Falcons, which I wasn't really taking the vaccine in, and I was just saying because he's from Atlanta and they could use a backup quarterback. Mm-hmm. But other than there, where do y'all see him landing? Because it doesn't make sense financially for the Falcons, given the fact that they just signed Josh Rosen and they really don't have money anyway. the Cowboys make sense, kinda, but they just said they're not gonna bring him in, and two, I don't really see Jerry Jones going the Cam route. For me, really, the only teams I can think of are the Raiders and Oakland.
Yeah,
But
same thing.
I don't really. I mean, not. I'm sorry, not the Raiders in Oakland. No, I meant the Ravens in Oakland. But
Ravens.
Like they don't have a backup quarterback.
Here we go.
In Las Vegas. Vegas. That's where they play at.
The Ravens in Vegas.
I can see Cam going to Houston. You know, I don't know would he want to go there with all the turmoil that's going on in Houston, but I do think like him being able to walk in there and probably end up being the starter, being able to take over the reins. You know, even through that miss and down in there, Deshaun Watson was able to succeed. You know, so you can't say, you can't succeed there even with all that's going on. So that might look even better for Cam if he does that. Where else? I see Philadelphia. Anything goes wrong with Jalen Hurts, start off slow.
I forgot about Philadelphia. If I was them, I would just go ahead and bring him in because they don't believe in Jalen for whatever reason. But
they got Gardner Minshew. That's what they signed him for.
I mean,
they did sign.
Yeah,
Gardner
I mean,
Minshew.
I wasn't gonna.
I'm just saying.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's just I don't feel like any of these are realistic anyway. So
Yeah,
I was
like
just
I said,
playing devil's advocate.
The only way the way I see it playing out is somebody gonna get hurt and somebody's gonna need a quarterback to add another quarterback to their roster for depth, and that's how Cam gonna get on the roster.
Yeah.
Like at this point in the season, you're not looking to add a backup quarterback. See your season from the start.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say what probably only Urban Meyer is willing to say. No team is gonna bring in an unvaccinated quarterback. So, especially the Houston one makes sense on paper. I mean, obviously there are plenty of teams we could sit here and name he's better than. We could go to Denver, Houston, Washington, a bunch of different teams. But the point is, one, I don't see him going to Houston because I don't think they're interested in winning this year. They're trying to get some draft picks that they didn't get last year. So they're trying to capitalize on the terrible season they had last year, which is one of the main reasons why they're not even interested in playing Deshaun Watson when there's no reason why they can't. So that's one reason why I don't think that will happen. And again, I don't like I was saying with Dallas, they skirted around it. They said, yeah, we like Cooper Rush. We got what we got, but no. They know what they're doing. They don't. No team is gonna bring in an unvaccinated quarterback.
You got to be in the upper echelon to get away with something like that, because I believe Lamar Jackson does not have the vaccine.
I mean, yeah, but they're not bringing him in.
Yeah, I'm saying like there. Even if you is on a team, you still got to be.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Obviously, if you're the solidified starter, you can't be replaced. Obviously, they're not gonna cut you or anything. But if you're like 50 to 57 man, if it's questionable, yes.
Anyway, we're gonna move right into our NFL predictions. We're starting off with the AFC North. We're gonna go division by division, saying how we think they're gonna finish. We're gonna give you the wild card, the Final Four, Super Bowl champion, obviously, who we think is going to win the MVP and the Rookie of the Year. So, with that being said, we're going to start with the AFC North. I say Cleveland, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati. I think, like we've been saying, like I said in the quarterback preview section, I think Baker Mayfield doesn't have to do anything but be a game manager. The way their offense flows is through their running backs, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. So, their offense goes as they go. So if they can run the ball, Baker can play action off of it. He can roll out off of it. So I think this year the Browns aren't the Browns of old, and they got a great defense. I wouldn't say great defense, but their defense is good enough to win this division. So with that being said, how y'all feel about the AFC North?
Same. Cleveland Cleveland, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati.
Baltimore, Cincinnati. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati.
Baltimore. You just switched Baltimore and Cleveland, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, I got.
No, he got Pittsburgh second.
I got Pittsburgh second.
Huh. Ah.
Lamar Jackson's gonna come out and have an MVP type season. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Ravens fan and I'm a fan of Lamar Jackson. Really do feel like he got a lot to prove. A lot of quarterbacks in the league right now have a lot to prove, and he's one of them. And I think he's gonna come. And we facing some adversity. I want to see how he make his team better and how he comes and responds before the season even starts, with the starting running back going down, with Bateman, our first round draft pick, going down. Marquise Hollywood is healthy, so I mean we still got some weapons. We still got Gus Edwards, so I think Lamar Jackson's gonna show out this year and show people he's better than Josh Allen. He's better than most. He's in that conversation as one of the best in the game. Pittsburgh, I think Ben Roethlisberger done been in the league way too long to not know what's up. I think he's still capable of leading a team. He's still capable of going on the field and producing. He just has to stay healthy. The defense is one of the best in the league. Mike Tomlin is one of the best coaches in the league. They got Juju. They got Clay Ward. Hey, what's his number 11 for Pittsburgh?
Claypool.
Claypool. They got a lot of weapons, and I think Ben Roethlisberger can get the job done. They got Najee Harris. I think they're going to get into the playoffs. Yeah, Cleveland going to be competitive, but I don't like Cleveland, and I don't believe in Baker Mayfield, and I told y'all he got to show me something with OBJ being back in the lineup. They're going to be competitive, and if Pittsburgh doesn't get in, of course it's going to be the Browns, but I think Pittsburgh going to get the job done. Joe Burrow still don't have an offensive line, and Jamar Chase has been underwhelming so far going into the season.
Underwhelming is an understatement.
Hey, man, all that sounds good, but y'all don't have no running game no more, and y'all don't have the weapons that y'all think y'all have.
We still got an elite defense.
It's more that goes into the running game than just the running back. I feel like they have healthy offensive linemen.
You haven't watched that in preseason.
Their best offensive lineman in the offseason.
You haven't watched that in preseason, huh?
Hey, man.
Preseason.
No, I'm just.
Hey, man. We gonna come back to it. All I said was, I picked y'all second. Y'all not gonna win the division.
We'll revisit this at the quarter mark of the season. Anyway, moving on to the AFC East, I got Buffalo, Miami, New England, and the Jets. I feel like Buffalo has the best, the most proven quarterback that's starting the season. I feel like they were a couple of plays away from going to the Super Bowl last year. So, I mean, Josh Allen this your year. And I feel like to a second year, he has to make a big step up off of last year. He had flashes, but he was very inconsistent. And yeah, you can't be inconsistent in the NFL. It's not college where, yes, he has talent around him, but everybody's talented. They made it to the end. They're starting playing in the NFL for a reason. So I feel like Mac has got the starting job, but that doesn't mean they're going to be good. Yes, New England got a lot of opt-outs back from 2020, but they're not. It's not the same team that they were. You know what I'm saying? If they're able to run the ball, it's gonna be a different story. But I don't feel like they're gonna put all that pressure on Mac's shoulders. But I feel like they can probably get they'll probably be competing for one of those two wild card spots, and the Jets gonna be the Jets. So how y'all feel about the AFC East?
Yeah, I like Buffalo, but they definitely weren't a couple of plays from the Super Bowl. They got their doors blown off. But it's the same. Buffalo, Miami, New England, Jets. I would have put New England second, but I don't feel like Mac is ready right now, and I feel like the pressure is on Tua. So we got to go out there and prove it.
I agree with y'all. Buffalo, Miami, New England, New York. Although I believe New York is going to be better than what people think. I think they're going to be a competitive team this year. Still finish last, but it's not going to be I don't think it's gonna be Mark Sanchez Jets type stuff.
No, they don't have no. They don't have. Well, Mark Sanchez went to the AFC Championship 2 years
Twice,
in a row.
right?
Yeah,
But
talk about the butt fumble years.
they were still decent those years. But my point is, no, they don't have. They only have 2 good offensive linemen. Other than that, they're kind of Swiss cheese. Their receivers are what's broad name from Corey Davis and Jamison Crowder.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And then they don't have nothing on defense. So
I still picked
CJ
them to
Mosley
finish
played for them.
last.
they don't
Still
have
picked
nothing
them
on
to finish
defense.
last. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, like
I don't think they're gonna be better than people expect. I don't know what people expect, but I don't think they're gonna be better than that.
This team probably expect to win like 3 games.
I give them 5 max. Is that better? I guess, but how much better is better? Like, do you think they're gonna be competitive, like
Just
fighting for something? Like what? What do you
I
think?
just think it's just gonna be a different product on the field than we usually get from the New York Jets.
I don't know.
I think they're gonna be entertaining to watch. Like it's gonna be a team
it's the
that people
same
be like.
Jets that they had when Zach. I mean, what's her name?
Mark Sanchez.
No, the other dude.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. I think it's gonna be the same Jets that they had, just a new coach.
Anyway, moving on to the AFC South. I got Tennessee, Indianapolis, Houston, and Jacksonville. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they added Julio. In a couple more weeks, we're going to have the 2 Tennessee debut on here. What else? I think if Indianapolis can stay healthy, they might be able to compete for the number 1 seed because Carson Wentz and Frank Wright work well together. The year they won the Super Bowl, that was Carson Wentz's team. So, Houston, Jordan basically said everything about that, but Jacksonville probably gonna win 1 game. So, I see Urban Meyer getting fired in 3 years, but
I don't know. I can see Jacksonville winning 2. They play Houston twice, and they'll sneak against somebody else.
Hey man, I said what I said.
I mean, I'm not finna fight you for it. Yeah, mine was the same. Houston, Tennessee, Indy, Houston, Jacksonville. Probably would have put Indy first, but I mean, Carson Wentz can't stay healthy, and I don't know if he's gonna play all 17 games, even if he is healthy. Just saying. Houston, even though they're terrible, they still have a little bit more talent than Jacksonville. I can see Jacksonville beating them one of those 2 times, but other than that, I don't really see Jacksonville winning more than 1 game outside of that series.
I have the same thing, except I have Houston finishing last and Jacksonville finishing 3rd.
Sheesh, you giving Urban Meyer a lot of credit.
No, I just don't believe in Houston. I think Houston will be just as bad as Jacksonville, and I think Trevor Lawrence is I won't say a game changer, but I think he's gonna get a couple dubs as a starting quarterback in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's capable of that. So
We'll see.
I just don't think Houston's gonna be anything at all this year.
Yeah, I don't have much faith in Tyrod, but I have a little bit more faith in Tyrod and what's left of their O-line than Trevor Lawrence and what's left of their O-line.
Amen. Moving out west, we got KC, Las Vegas, Denver, and the Chargers. Kansas City is Kansas City. They've really been running this division for the last couple years, so I don't have too much on them. But I think John Gruden is on a prove-it year. Yes, he had the 10-year deal and blah, 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 but he got too much talent now for them to still be finishing 3rd and 4th in the division. So at this point, you got to prove it. At some points, they looked decent last year, and then you also lost to the Falcons 40-6. So, I mean, at this point, 8-8 isn't what it is. So, you got too much talent on your team to be still be finishing where I said the middle of the pack. But this is also the same guy that traded away Khalil Mack. So, yes, Teddy Bridgewater won the starting job in Denver, but I don't think that they're. Yes, and Von Miller's coming back, so they're gonna be better than they were last year. But they could be competing for a wild card spot at best. Yeah, and I think Justin Herbert's gonna take a step back this year. It's a lot of the incoming quarterbacks you see that happen. Their first year they have a pretty decent year, and then they take a regression their second year. So I'm just following the trend. How y'all feel about the AFC West though?
KC, Chargers, Vegas, and Denver. I don't have much faith in. Well, I don't know. Denver might shock some people. It depends on which Teddy Bridgewater you get, because he was pretty good in New Orleans, but he stunk it up in Carolina. So there's that. But I don't know. I feel like the Chargers, the fact that their schedule is kind of not the best, it's not the toughest in the world, and the fact that Vegas usually starts off hot and ends the season trash, and the beginning of their schedule is kind of tough. I don't feel like that's a recipe for them finishing second. So that's how I got my list.
I got Kansas City, of course, coming in first, Denver in second, the Chargers in third, and the Vegas Raiders in fourth. I think Teddy Bridgewater is gonna steer the ship. I think the Broncos have talent. Von Miller is back. Their defense is really good. Drew Lock was the piece in there that was the so-called reason they couldn't get any wins. So now you put a competent quarterback that has shown and proven he can do that in the game. I think this team could be challenging for a playoff spot. I think they will get into the playoffs. The Chargers, I don't think they would be bad. I just think Justin Herbert needs one more year to get his shine, and then we can talk about him as one of the elites. But I think the two teams above him is really solid. And when we get to the well, I keep trying to call them the Rams, the Raiders. John Gruden, he can coach offense, but the defense is horrible. So I don't know if he's going to be able to fix that. They brought in new coaches on the defensive end. So I still don't think that's going to equal any wins.
Hey man, he got to prove himself.
Then they're gonna try to blame Derek Carr, because it's not gonna be Derek Carr's fault.
I said that when we were talking about the AFC West quarterbacks. I said John Gruden gets none of the blame for them being where they are. It's always Derek Carr's fault. And Pete Carroll. Bro, that's crazy.
He has $100 million guaranteed. It can't be his fault.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, moving on to the NFC. NFC North, I got Green Bay, Chicago, Minnesota, and the Lions. With everything Aaron Rodgers talked about this offseason, if they don't at least get to the Super Bowl, it's a failed year. That's just how I feel about it. Unless he get hurt, unless injuries play a part. If they healthy at the end of the year, relatively, and they don't make it to the Super Bowl, this is a failed year, in my opinion. As much as he talked, and he pulled a Brett Favre, that's the way I see it. Chicago, I feel like at some point they're going to go to Justin Fields, and they got talent around him. They got a good defense. They have weapons on offense, so I feel like they can make they'll be playing for a second place, they'll be playing for a wild card spot, but yeah, I feel like they can make a run at the playoffs. And Kirk Cousins, I still don't trust him. So, and the Lions are still the Lions. So, how y'all feel about the NFC North?
I got the Bears, the Packers, Minnesota, and Detroit. I feel like sooner or later they're gonna put Justin Fields in. They have a second place schedule, and they do play the NFC West, but most of those games are in the beginning of the season. And I can't remember who I want to say the AFC West. I'm not 100% sure. No, the AFC North. So that is kind of tough, but everybody else in the division plays the exact same schedule, so it doesn't really affect them that much. But they don't play first place teams. I feel like the turmoil in Green Bay is going to take them a step back. Um, Minnesota, same with Carson Wentz. I don't think Kirk Cousins is going to play 17 games. And also, they're not that good. And even when he does play, he's going to find a way to lose a game. So, and with Detroit, they're Detroit. I could actually see them finishing third, but I put them fourth just for.
I got Green Bay winning the division. Aaron Rodgers has got yet again got something to prove, and of course he's still one of the best. He's coming off an MVP season. I think Green Bay gonna pick up where they left off. And Minnesota, I got Minnesota for coming in second. Kirk Cousins, yeah, he's Kirk Cousins, but Kirk Cousins has got to the playoffs before. I'm not saying they're finna have a deep run, but he's got to the playoffs before. He's a competent quarterback. And I think the Vikings have talent. The Vikings still have Dalvin Cook. They have Justin Jefferson. They have an elite defense. Not elite defense, but a really good defense. So I could still see this team, if healthy, get to the playoffs. The Bears, you got Andy Dalton starting week 1. Everybody keeps saying he's going to leave and lose his starting job week 5. That still puts you in a hole. What if Andy Dalton go out there and they fall to like 0-3 or something like that, 0-4? I don't believe Justin Fields is just going to come in and just take this team to the promised land. Yes, this team was a playoff team last year with Nick Foles at the helm, but I just don't think you're just going to plug in Justin Fields and he's going to just magically win you 8, 9, 10 games just like that. I don't think he's that special.
NFC East, I feel like this is going to be one competitive division again last year. But I got Washington, Dallas, New York, and Philly. I feel like this could be interchangeable at any point. Dak with Dallas, we don't know what Dak you're gonna get. I mean, if you've been watching Hard Knocks, you would see that he ain't really been getting reps with the first team, so you don't know how they're gonna come out and look. Granted, I got them losing week 1 to Tampa Bay, but you don't know how he gonna play off that injury. What it's gonna be like when he get hit the first time. So he didn't play the whole preseason. Yes, he been practicing, but he didn't really start practicing until like the 3rd preseason game. So that's really 2 weeks of work for honest work with the one. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I don't know if they got better on defense either. I feel like the Giants, you don't know what you're gonna get. I feel like they're gonna go as Saquon goes, but they also have a pretty good defense. They were good last year to not have their number 1 piece. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Philly don't have any weapons around Jalen. They just have Jalen, and yeah, they still got Fletcher Cox, but he plays defense. But how they gonna score points? With that being said, how y'all feel about the NFC East?
I got Washington, New York, Dallas, Philly. Just throw all their names in a hat, shuffle it up, pick one out. They all suck. Yeah, I feel like Washington has the best defense. They have a competent enough quarterback, depending on which Ryan Fitzpatrick you get. I don't feel like they have the expectations, so you shouldn't get Ryan Fitzpatrick with expectations. So that's why I'm going to pick them. The Giants finishing second. They made all these moves in the offseason. They have a pretty good defense, and hey, everybody else sucks. Dallas, I don't think Dak is going to play all 17 games, unlike with Kirk Cousins and a little bit with Carson Wentz. It's just because I don't think he's going to stay healthy. His O-line is old, and they can't stay healthy, so who's going to protect him? Plus, Zeke is kind of over the hill. I don't really think it's the same Zeke, even though they will force me to believe that it's a new Zeke, even though they said the same thing last year, and he looked kind of mid. And Philly, they don't really have anything, and they don't believe in their quarterback. So
I have Washington winning the division. I have what was it? I had Dallas second, Philadelphia third, and the Giants fourth. I just think Dallas have a lot of talent, and I'm not thinking of Dak Prescott being injured. I'm thinking injury free. Um, I think he's gonna last the whole season? Maybe not. Maybe to start off. I don't know if he's gonna play week one. I don't know. Um, but if he stays healthy, I think Dallas can still squeeze in for a playoff spot, and lock in that two spot. Philadelphia, I think they're gonna be better than what people expect. I think Jalen Hurts got something to prove, and it's really a fight between them and the Giants for, third, fourth, because the Giants are the same as the Philadelphia Eagles with having something to prove and got a lot of weapons, but I don't believe that they would stay healthy. I don't believe that their key players that they depend on will be there when they need them the most.
Mm, mm, mm. This is this whole division is trash.
Yes.
Anyway, moving on to the NFC South, my personal favorite division. Before I go on here, let me just say I'm still a Falcons fan, but the way I'm approaching this season, when we win, I'm gonna be excited, but when we lose, I'm not gonna be as emotionally invested. I'm still a Julio fan. I've been watching Julio since he's been in high school. Yes, Calvin went to Alabama, but it's not the same. So, yeah, I'm not getting no new Falcons jersey. You know how people used to still wear the Vic jersey? You know how people still wear the Vic jersey? Yeah, that's how I'm keeping my Julio jersey. Now, moving on to the NFC South. I got Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Atlanta, and Carolina. You really can interchange those third or fourth places. You never really know, because you don't know. You never know what you're gonna get from week to week with us. And yeah, I feel like our offense is gonna be high powered, but we still have the same play caller from last year, so we're gonna be able to put up points. But when it comes to calling matchups to keep our quarterback protected, we're gonna struggle with this. So we're gonna struggle on third and fourth down. We're not gonna be able to extend drives. We're gonna kick field goals instead of touchdowns. This is how our season's gonna go. But anyway, I could see Tampa and Green Bay playing in the NFC Championship game again. So yeah, I feel like it's Tom Brady's second year in this system. He's learned. They won the Super Bowl last year, in the first year in the system. So they weren't even a complete team, basically. They got all their key pieces back. So I feel like Tampa Bay gonna lose like 3 or 4 games. Yeah, if that. And I feel like Jameis is gonna have the Saints right there, right? They could be competing for a playoff spot. And I don't know. I've never really believed in Sam Darnold. So how y'all feel about the NFC South?
When you said you can switch 3 and 4 around, that's when I switched 3 and 4 around. I went with Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Carolina, and Atlanta. I was gonna have Atlanta 3, but they don't have anything. Their offensive line is still terrible. Matt Ryan can't move. Calvin is eventually gonna start getting double teamed, and Russell Gage is not gonna be able to carry them. I don't know what Kyle Pitts is gonna bring to their offense. Excuse me.
Ain't gonna be a matchup problem when they spread them out wide. You know how they do Gronk. Yeah. That whole Super Bowl drive they did with Gronk.
Yeah, but it's gonna be hard to actually get him the ball when you can't block.
I agree.
So, but and their defense is kind of suspect. Working up.
Suspect is
Carolina.
They'll be able to stop the run. They'll be in the middle of the pack for that. We had a 7th worst defense last year. It was number 7.
Yeah, no. Working up, we got Carolina. I don't think they're going to be much better, but, somebody's got to finish third. I feel like they will. What we got? New Orleans, Jameis. I feel like he's going to be better than what people expect. I don't know what people expect, but think he'll be better than that. And Tampa Bay. They're returning everybody. They're going to win the Super Bowl.
They're not winning the Super Bowl.
They are though.
Nah. But they're gonna win this division. They're gonna win this division. The Saints gonna come in second because Jameis Winston is a starting caliber quarterback in the National Football League. No matter what people say, they have talent. They still have their defense. Is it the best Saints team in recent years? No, but it's still a playoff team, and Sean Payton's still a really good coach, and Jameis Winston has something to prove. Carolina, they're going to come in third because they have a better defense than Atlanta. Sam Darnold, again, has to show, he's able to last in a place that's not New York because, a lot of things were blamed on a lot of other people besides Sam Darnold in New York. So in Carolina, this all on you. You got to goddamn go out there and perform, You can't go out there and say you seeing ghosts. You can't go out there and win one game. No, you come over here and they're expecting you to win. They're not expecting you just to come over here and get a fresh start. Nah, you got to come over here and at least be competitive. So I think Sam Darnold got a lot of fire under him, and he got a lot of pressure on him. And Atlanta's just trash. That's just all it is to it.
It don't hurt my feelings no more.
It's just good old
facts.
Bad trash football. But in the middle of the season, have good moments where you actually look like you supposed to look.
We're gonna win one of the Saints games.
Been trash.
We're gonna win one of the Saints games.
I doubt it.
We gonna lose both of the Tampa games.
I picked y'all in. I ended up picking y'all in both of them. Started the season, I said y'all were gonna win one, but I ended up picking y'all in both of them, and y'all lost both.
Ugly too. Anyway, moving out west.
To a tight end.
Moving out west. We got the Rams, the Seahawks, San Francisco, and Arizona. I think.
You gonna die on that Rams game.
I'm just saying, bro. If Megatron said that Matt Stafford is good, I believe him. So I'm going with what Megatron said. They were they were a quarterback away from moving on in the playoffs last year, and they went to the Super Bowl. What was that, 2018?
Mm-hmm.
With
Jared
Goff not being able to extend the ball down the field. So with that being said, I think that with the gunslinger Matt Stafford, they'll be able to do that. Seattle, I still feel like they're gonna be competitive because Russ is Russ. I feel like they're gonna get one of those wild card spots. San Francisco, we don't know who we get in that quarterback. So, yeah, quarterback controversy. Dun dun dun. Anyway, in Arizona, I feel like this division is too competitive. Like if they played in a different division, they could be more competitive. Like if they played in the AFC South, yeah, but it's too many heavy hitters in this division. So they're gonna win some games, but they still gonna finish last in this division. How y'all feel about the West?
Seattle, Rams, San Francisco, Arizona. Seattle, they have the best quarterback, and they actually have a pretty decent defense. To go with it, they have weapons on the outside, and if they can get half of anything from Chris Carson or whatever other running back they have, they'll be straight. The Rams, I don't really believe in Matt Stafford, but they have weapons around him. If they can stay healthy, they should be right there. San Francisco, I don't really believe in Jimmy G all that much, and whenever they decide to make that switch, I don't think that Trey Lance will be ready. But that's their decision. They're the ones that decided to stick with. They're the ones that wanted to draft a project quarterback, knowing that they were more than likely going to want to switch quarterbacks mid-season. Doesn't really make sense to me, but whatever. And Arizona, like Brandon said, this division is too competitive for them. If they were in a different division, like pretty much the AFC South is really the only one I can see them being super duper competitive in. Like
AFC East, NFC
East. Yeah. But point still made.
I got San Francisco, Los Angeles Rams, Seattle, Arizona. San Francisco got the best defense in this division. They have explosive weapons on the outside. They bring it back. Debo is an explosive weapon. They have, they bring it back. Mostert.
Raheem Mostert.
Mostert. I thought it was Mostert. Mostert. Okay. And Jimmy Garoppolo again has led this team to 13-3 seasons, a Super Bowl appearance, and a one throwaway type thing. Like
That
Super
is
Bowl.
so crazy how I still don't get how you differentiate between Jared Goff and what's the line? What's the line between Jared Goff?
Because I said Jared Goff was bad.
No, between Jared Goff and Jimmy G. Like, what's the difference?
Because I said Jimmy G was better.
No, like you'll go. Jimmy G led them to the Super Bowl and all this other stuff, but Jared Goff didn't lead them to the Super Bowl. It was defense and a running back.
I just feel like
I don't get it. What's the difference?
It was literally the same thing.
But I don't even know how we got Jared Goff though.
But because you were saying how Jimmy G led them to the Super Bowl, but then you were like a couple of seconds ago you were talking. Well, no, that was Brendan. But a couple of episodes ago, you were talking about how Jared Goff only got to the Super Bowl because of his defense and his running backs.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to figure out like what's the difference between those two players. Like,
because before anything, Jimmy have a track record of winning. When he plays, he wins. You know what I'm saying? With Jared Goff,
It's iffy. Yeah, up and down. I give you that. That's fair. That's a fair
in
assessment.
New England, he had a
I'm not saying,
history
like,
in New England of
I mean,
winning.
he had like played 7 games in New England.
No, he played
like
3, then
4.
got hurt.
I don't remember him
He
getting
played
hurt,
3, then got hurt. Then he got traded to the 49ers at the end of the season when everybody was in pack it up mode, and then he won.
Okay, it doesn't matter. When he came in with the Patriots, he won his starts. He got traded, and then all he did was when he played, he won. You know what I'm saying? He had a track record. Jared Goff showed he was inconsistent, and then that team got great on the defensive end. Todd Gurley was in his prime, and
I'm just saying,
went to the
it's
Super
literally
Bowl.
the
And then
same
when they
thing
got
for
to
me.
the Super Bowl, bro, they put out one of the worst offensive performances of all time, bro. Jared Goff, yes, he missed that throw, bro, but they look better. They look better
What
than
was
that.
what was the 49ers doing on
They
offense?
look better than that.
What was the
bro.
49ers
They
doing
look
on
better.
offense? They
You-
didn't look much better.
Actually, the 49ers were up in that game.
Yes.
Okay, the Patriots were. It was like 3-0 most of the game. What are you
Yes.
talking about?
I'm saying that
It was definitely more
Jimmy
points
G
than
looked
3
better
down
than
in the game.
Jared Goff.
Yes.
Jared Goff and
I
That's
don't
all-
know. I feel like his running backs were looking better. Then they decided to take the ball out of the running backs' hands and tried to force Jimmy G to be the Super Bowl MVP, and we saw why they
Okay,
lost.
all I'm saying is that team got to the Super Bowl. Then the following year, injuries plagued their season. This team is healthy, and this is the exact same team that got to the Super Bowl. So there's no reason for me to not believe that this team can't win the division or make it to the Super Bowl. And I don't think Trey Lance is just going to come in right now because I feel like this team has already shown stuff. I have the Rams finishing second because they had 2 of the top 5 defensive players in the league, and the whole defense overall is solid. They have Matthew Stafford, who's an upgrade from Jared Goff. They got weapons. Sean McVay got to show that, show why he made this trade and why he's so happy to have Matthew Stafford. Who else did I say at that? Seattle. Seattle has no offensive line. I think my boy Russell Wilson gonna get a lot of hits. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are good weapons on the outside, but let's see if they can stay healthy. More of Tyler Lockett, and the defense is okay, but I don't know. I feel like it's a lot on Russell Wilson's shoulders, and they have yet to really go solidify help on the offensive line to protect them. So, in Arizona, it's going to be a really good team, but I just feel bad for them because of the division they in. Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, now they added J.J. Watt. It's a real good team, but when you just look at what the Rams have on the defensive end, what Seattle have overall, and what Seattle have at quarterback position and the outside position, and what San Francisco have overall, I don't think Arizona matches up well with those 3.
Next up, we're gonna do some quick hitters since we discussed everybody. Our wild card, Final Four, MVP, and Rookie of the Year. So with the wild card, I got Miami, Baltimore, and Las Vegas coming out the AFC, and Seattle, New Orleans, and Dallas coming out the NFC.
Miami, Baltimore, Indy, Rams, Green Bay, San Francisco.
San Francisco, the Rams. Oh, that's their ways. My bad. I'm sorry. Miami, Pittsburgh, Denver, Rams, Seattle, and Minnesota.
Final four, I got Green Bay playing Tampa in the NFC and Buffalo and KC in the AFC.
Yeah, I got Seattle playing Tampa Bay, and I got Buffalo playing Kansas City.
Green Bay versus Kansas City with Green Bay winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I got Tampa Bay beating Buffalo in the Super Bowl.
Go ahead.
I have Green Bay versus San Francisco and Baltimore versus Kansas City. And I have Green Bay beating San Francisco, Kansas City beating Baltimore. And then I have Green Bay over Kansas City in the Super Bowl.
Let's go. Aaron Rodgers winning another MVP.
Yeah, I got Brady winning it.
I got A-Rod.
And my rookie of the year in the AFC, I got Najee Harris and Patrick Surtain and Justin Fields and Micah Parsons in the NFC.
I got Mac and Pat, and I've got Justin Fields and Micah Parsons as well.
I got that boy Zach Wilson, Surtain. And in the NFC, I got Kyle Pitts and Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons.
And
horrible with names.
Amen. And that wraps up our NFL predictions. We will revisit this topic at the quarter mark of the season. Do they still have a quarter mark since the 17 game?
No, we might as well just do half. After the week 9. Going into week 9, we'll do it.
Yeah, going into week 9. We'll see y'all then. But with that being said, we're going to move on to Genius or BS. Our first topic is Skip and Shannon think that Mac will be the best Bama quarterback. I mean, that's not really the ceiling's not really that high. You know what I'm saying?
No, out of the 3.
Oh, out of the 3 that are out of Tua, Jalen, and Mac.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
I feel like
obvious though.
I don't know. It depends on what Tua does. Because when they were at Alabama, Tua was the best the best quarterback product. You know what I'm saying? He was the best. What am I trying to say?
The highest rated prospect.
There we go. But I feel like Tua has more weapons around him, and they're asked to do different things. You know what I'm saying? The Patriots are run first, run second, and run third. So
is he talking about for this year or
their best? Who will have the best career?
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna go with Tua.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mac. As much as I love Jalen, I don't feel like he's in the best situation. If he can land into another situation where he can thrive, I feel like he would be the best because I feel like he has the best skill set. But as of right now, I'm gonna go Mac just because I feel like he's in the best situation right now. Similar to Jalen, Tua, they don't want him, so it's kind of hard to thrive in those situations. I really hate that I don't remember when you and Will got into that conversation because I feel like I could have contributed to that. But yes, it is hard for you to thrive and play well in a situation where you're constantly looking over your shoulder and wondering if you're going to be replaced or traded. So I don't really see Tua being able to fit in that system. And it's not necessarily that I think Mac is the best. Like I said, I feel like Jalen has the best skill set. But I feel like, one, he has the best coach out of the 3. And he does have some weapons with Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, and depending on if Nelson Aguilar can find a way to catch the ball, then he actually has a decent number 1 receiver. So, yeah, I can really see Mac having the best career, but I could understand why Brendan would have Tua. And I didn't even mention the fact that Tua is the most injury prone out of the 3. So.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth because I was about to say the exact same thing. I say Matt Johnson's gonna have the better career because it's all about situations. Yeah, Tua and Jalen might see a little bit more success. Might not, well, maybe not Jalen, but yeah, maybe Tua might see a little bit more success right now.
Don't do that.
See a little bit more success right now than Matt because of the teams they're on right now. But I think in position, Matt Jones felt right into the perfect team for him, the perfect staff, the perfect coach for him. Like he's the new modern for them, Tom Brady. Not saying he's Tom Brady, but he fits the mold of what they had for the past 20 years before Cam Newton came. And I think he's in the best position to win and have longevity in his career than the other two. I think Tua right now has a better chance to win because of the team, but I think he's an injury-prone quarterback, like you said, and I don't think he's going to be durable long enough to even continue to be a starter in the NFL for long. Of course, he has this season to prove it in his whole career, but as of right now, I don't see it. And with Jalen, he's just not in the right spot right now. Like you said, he's not really wanted there. I do feel like he can perform there and get some wins there, but I just don't think they're in the right positions to win and succeed like Mac is.
Well, while we still talking about Alabama quarterbacks, like I said earlier, it was a long time. I remember when we was talking when Brody Croyle and John Parker Wilson was there. Now we got Bryce Young setting records and for most yards in his debut, most touchdowns in his debut. That's come a long way.
Next up, we got the Mets giving their fans the thumbs down. I don't really have too much to say on this topic because they suck. Like they were in first place in the division with like up by 5 games, and now they suck.
Now they suck.
How you gonna blame it? How you gonna get mad at the fans because y'all suck? So
the fans was booing or something?
Yeah, and the New York fans were booing them, and whenever they did something good, they would give them the thumbs down. I think it's BS. I don't understand why the media keeps telling us we should let players show their emotion. We need baseball to be more fun. Let the kids play all this, and then whenever they do something, you don't like it. You can't have both. You have to let them show their emotion if you're gonna let them show their emotion. I don't get it. Like it's not like they was going out there cussing fans out. Like I'm more than sure they were getting said worse than boo. Like I'm more than sure they were getting called names and stuff. So the fact that all they did was give you a thumbs down, I don't see the problem, bro. Like we're a very sensitive society and we gotta get out of that, bro. Like you feel like you can boo, but then when they respond, they wrong. No, where does that work anywhere else? Like that doesn't make sense to me, bro. Like it's just stupid.
And
Go Yankees. Who cares about the Mets?
I'm trying to tell you, they suck. Anyway, and lastly, we got the players from the Knicks, Nets, and Warriors not being able to play in their home arena if they're not vaccinated. But the kicker is, if somebody on the away team is unvaccinated, they still can play as long as they pass a COVID test. So, I mean, I don't really. It's y'all. There's consequences to everything, basically. That's really all I can say. I can't tell nobody what to do. You can either get the vaccine or deal with the consequences that you have. If I decide I want to speed, you know what I'm saying, and I get caught, the consequences is I have to go pay that ticket. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, how y'all feel about this situation?
I think it's BS just because it doesn't make sense that you can't, like, if you're on the away team, you don't have to be vaccinated, but if you're on the home team, you do. Like, what's the difference? Like, if somebody can explain that to me and it actually makes sense, I'll rescind this statement. But other than that, like, I don't have a problem with it. Like Brendan said, there are consequences. That's what they decided to do. That's what they decided to do. Like, I'm not finna sit here and fight you. Like, it's not my team. I can't make those choices.
I think it's BS. I just think it's really unfortunate that we in this time in the world now where people careers is on the line because they're not willingly choosing to get something shot in their body that they have no idea, no matter what nobody says, will do to you or is doing to you.
Hey man,
So
how many pills do they get after the game?
you know what I'm saying?
Do they sit there and ask the doctor what's in these pills, or do they just take the pills?
I mean, shoot, if you want to get the
You know what's in the cortisone shot?
Bruh, I'm saying if they want to get the
Do
vaccine,
you know what's in the cortisone shot?
I don't.
Okay,
But I'm just saying.
I'm just asking.
If they want to get the vaccine, that's on them. But if they choose not to, I'm not mad at them, and they shouldn't be penalized for that decision. Like they have shown they have COVID protocols and stuff like that. They have already enforced and stuff like that. I don't understand like why you can't continue with that same method. It's purposely showing you're bullying people who haven't got the vaccine.
I don't think it's necessarily an NBA. I don't think it's the NBA's call. I think it's those cities, because both the New York teams and then the city of San Francisco.
It's bigger than sports when it comes to this. That's what I'm talking about. It's all now.
I'm with you.
Bullying you, pulling your card, forcing your hand, whatever you want to say it, into putting something into your body. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand if you get it. I understand if you don't. But the problem is when you try to push people in a box and kind of force their hand to get something that they don't want to do, or they might still have questions and thoughts over. I think that's real messed up.
I mean, I understand though, but there's nothing new here in America. That's the same reason we have two political parties. Everything, they're gonna force your hand. I agree with you, but at the same time, like I said, there's consequences for everything.
Yeah, I mean, business is business, so I just feel like and if you're gonna do that, that's okay. That's okay, but you already have COVID protocols in place. You already test them all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, why, you do it the most? If that's the case and you battling with the city, you should be able to explain your COVID protocols to them.
I agree. But moving on to our penalty kick segment. This is our quick hitter segment.
Okay. It's basically, you know how in soccer, when at the end of the game, you give a little quick kick. If you miss it, you get out. If you make it, then you good. But this is at the end of the episode. We're going to give our little quick kick and get out.
Yeah, man. The Jags being under investigation for cutting players. They're investigating whether or not the vaccine status played a part in them getting cut. Hey, man, we basically been talking about this the whole episode. If they were, then handle it how you feel the need to handle it. Bruh, I'm just ready for all this COVID stuff to be over with. We have to talk about this every single week. It is what it is at this point. So, how y'all feel about this?
I just think it's fake outrage. I think they know that they can't do anything, but they want to show the players that they had their back and they're willing to fight for them. But this is too little too late. You should have did this before you agreed to the COVID protocols, and you knew. I mean, it's not hard to come to the conclusion that if the restrictions for vaccinated players are tougher than the restrictions for unvaccinated players, then clearly they're going to take into account that you have to be vaccinated. Like, that would just be terrible business on their part. So,
I think Urban Meyer is an easy target for this type of stuff, but I think people should already know this was going to happen. This is a part of life now. This is a part of the decisions when people making teams. And like I said, if you're not a Lamar Jackson type person, a person already on the team who's not struggling for a spot, or if you're not one of those elite athletes that could really help the team, and you're one of those people fighting for a spot on the team and stuff like that, you're not going to make the team if you're not vaccinated. If it comes down to you and another player and it's really hard for them to separate you guys, and they say, this guy's vaccinated, but you're not, we're going to go with this guy because he's more reliable than you. At any given time, you might have to sit out, because you choose not to get the vaccine. And that comes with the territory. It's unfortunate, but you know what I'm saying? that just gives more motivation to the kids out there to go even harder, bro. If you ain't gonna get that stuff, go harder so they can't stop you.
Hey, man. Moving on, Tim Tebow is now on ESPN every Friday. Hey, man, Tim Tebow is the greatest up failer in the history of failing up. Bruh, this man keep failing up, bruh. I ain't trying to sound like a hater, but I'm just saying. Shout out to Tim.
like a hater.
Hey, shout out to Tim Tebow, bruh. I don't care. Every year, whenever, or anytime randomly throughout the year, I'm going to always post that meme of him crying when we beat them in 09. So, shout out to Tim Tebow.
Yeah, they're not gonna talk about that L they took before that though.
That doesn't matter. That's not what we talking about here. Y'all haven't beat us since.
He talking about the year where they wore those them white uniforms. Them
Yes.
was fire. Man, that was the last time y'all beat us. I was in middle school, dude.
Hey,
I think I just hit middle school. I think I was in like 6th grade. When we gonna talk about a new win? We done came to the swamp and whooped y'all. We done beat y'all in Tuscaloosa, in old Bryant Denny East, in new Bryant Denny East. Like, come on, bro. Like, name the location where y'all want to get this L at now. Because we gonna be there in the swamp when y'all take that L. Yeah. We gonna be there too. But yes, like Brendan said, Tim Tebow keeps failing up. I don't really care. I'm not gonna watch ESPN regardless. I mean, I watch ESPN. Shout out Jalen Jacoby. Shout out Around the Horn. Shout out Pardon the Interruption. But other than that, I don't really watch ESPN. Sports Nation used to be lit when Max and Marcellus and Michelle Beadle were on there. But when they all split up, it hasn't been good since.
I'm a Tim Tebow fan, and like you said, this man is probably going home every day and be like, I am winning that life. Like, he cannot lose. Like,
okay, that man, boy, that little note that LeBron wrote at the end of the 2011 finals, he write one of those every day.
I'm saying, because the man can't lose. Everybody's just laughing at him for getting cut. Oh, word? Okay, I'm going to just go ahead.
Life thing.
Listen, I'm going to take the #1 spot. No, but I don't like it. I don't like the fact that Max Kellerman has left the show. First Take. I enjoy First Take. It was it's an entertaining show sometimes. Max Kellerman is a good personality on TV. I don't think Tim Tebow is the person to match up with Stephen A. Smith. His more of based on how he is as a person. I don't see him and Stephen A. really meshing well on TV every day. Nor do I really want to hear Stephen A. Smith yell at Tim Tebow every day. You know what I'm saying? Like I like sometimes when Stephen A. Smith roasts Tim Tebow. He ain't, I don't think he really gonna be doing that on the show because I think Tim Tebow is not that type of guy like Max. I think the show's just gonna be different. And
yeah, I really feel like they're just grasping.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to delay the inevitable at this point, bro. Just give Stephen A. Smith his own show, bro.
It's coming. More than likely, it's coming.
I mean, nobody's gonna watch, but just go ahead and do it.
I don't know.
I feel like that's the next step.
Nobody watches. Like he gonna have to have guests if he.
You got to.
I
Stephen
mean,
A. versus the world. I heard they was gonna say do something like that.
I mean, Stephen A.'s world don't get no views anyway.
But that's on ESPN Plus. Nobody.
I mean, but people watch other stuff on ESPN Plus.
Documentaries and stuff like that.
I mean, they watch
shows.
I mean, you're not wrong, but they actually have other shows on ESPN Plus, like the fantasy show. People watch that.
That's important to people, though. Fantasy football.
Kind of proved his point.
No, I'm just talking about like.
Thank you. I didn't want to say it.
No, like, you talking about regular sports and stuff like that. Stephen A. is like that's like an extra sports thing. I'm saying like the fantasy thing is like on a specific topic. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm saying if Stephen A. Smith is covering all of sports, including fantasy football, then why wouldn't they just tune into him as well?
I never seen Stephen A. cover fantasy football.
I mean, he could bring in a guest. Is my point. I mean, he talks about pretty much everything on there. I don't watch. Again, I don't watch. I've seen the highlights, but you know, he has some little.
I don't know. I feel like all of those shows are different, even though they still talking about sports. They're different.
You're not wrong. I'm just saying. I feel like at this point, they might as well just go ahead and cut out the middleman, give him his own, like the Scott Van Pelt type thing.
I mean, they did try to get Skip back, but there was too much money to have Stephen A. and Skip on the same set.
Plus, I don't think Skip wanted to.
I don't think you want. Yeah, because it was his show. Now it's Stephen A's, and he gonna come back and be Stephen A's sidekick. I don't think so.
These are facts.
Never mind. We've went back and forth enough. Let's go.
With that being said, we're moving on to the Logan Paul fight. Hey man, another man that keep failing up. I mean, I saw the highlights. He ain't knocking nobody out, bruh. Come on, bruh. That's what people watch boxing for. But shout out to him. He learned the cheat code. So, yeah. How you feel about it? We put this subject in just for you.
I don't know why people hate this man, bro.
Because he keep failing up.
Like, I understand you might not like his personality. I understand you might not like, his how he got there and stuff like that.
He's a Disney kid.
That's cool and all, but let's be real, bro. Like, Showtime did a good job at like doing the promotion and stuff, made to get focused in on his boxing, and it's like he explained what he was going through and stuff like that, and what led him to boxing and stuff like that. Now I don't make excuses for anybody, pity stories, but he found boxing through battling addiction and stuff like that. Like, how can we be mad at someone who was a YouTuber and all just because you have money and all this notoriety doesn't mean you happy. That doesn't mean everything in your life is going well. He said he was on them drugs and stuff like that. He had a lot of things going on. He was a bully and all of that, lashing out. He found boxing, and that was a way to channel his anger and release it. And then he ended up doing it, and falling in love with it. And then he turned it into something else. And now he's giving people the biggest bag of their lives. How can you be mad at that? And then he's putting in the work. He's doing what the dirty work. He's doing everything he have to do, and he's going in the ring and winning. How can you hate on a man like that? Like, I can understand if you don't like him, you want him to lose and stuff, but people be preying on this man downfall. And then like everybody was like, Tyron Woodley won the fight, and he didn't win the fight. He had one good round. He didn't knock the man out. He hit him, and he stumbled into the ropes, and he froze up.
Right.
At that moment, he should have hovered over him on the ropes and went dog crazy on him. He would have won the fight right there. He let the man bounce back, recover. Everybody was like, oh, Jake only knocked out these people. He ain't never went no more than one round and nothing like that. He went the whole 8 rounds, and people were saying, oh, he ain't knock him out. Like, Tyron Woodley is a former UFC champion. Like, you just think it's just going to be easy?
Put them hands on you, too.
Yeah.
That's why this was considered a better fight than Ben Askren, because Ben Askren wasn't a boxer.
Yes, and I think he proved to people that he is a fighter, and proved to people that that he's legit in this. You know what I'm saying? And everybody be like, "Oh, I don't like the celebrity boxing type thing." Man. Let's be real. Boxing is celebrity. Like, if you want to watch a fight, 9 times out of 10, that person, is a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Like, you done seen them on social media, you done seen them in commercials or something like that. Every big time boxer had that persona that extended outside the boxing ring to celebrity status. That's what drew you into wanting to see them fight. If a boxer is not a celebrity or important or out there, you're not gonna watch the fight. You don't even know who that is. You didn't know Deontay Wilder till he became a celebrity.
These are facts. I didn't. I didn't know who.
I knew of him,
but knew him. Saying like,
I mean, the dots were connected when I knew him as the fighter from Tuscaloosa, because I know somebody who's from Tuscaloosa, and they always talked about him. But once he made the to this day thing, that's him. Mm-hmm. See, I still don't know him, but yeah, that connected the dots of, oh, I know who that is.
But I'm saying, like, yes. Overall, like,
to your point, yes, you need a celebrity, because the casual people like me who probably not gonna ever watch a boxing match are only gonna watch if you know them.
Exactly. Floyd Mayweather is a celebrity. People are joining to his
like
boxing
Muhammad
match.
Ali. He was literally started the way that boxing is by selling the fight, by becoming a
trash
celebrity.
Talking,
exactly,
doing all of this stuff. You know, the activist stuff, changing his name, all that extra stuff. Like a lot of, it's just a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like people need to give Jake Paul a little bit more credit than what they gave him. It was a good fight. I want to see a second match, but I think right now in his career he need to start. He don't need rematches. He just need to keep going up. So, shout out to Jake Paul. I like that segment.
Yeah, I agree with Kevin a little bit. I don't understand where the hate comes from. I don't hate Jake Paul. Unlike the rest of the world, I can say that I don't care and truly don't care. I'm not finna go out my way to watch him. Like, y'all say y'all don't care and then we'll watch to see him lose. Like, you do realize you have to pay to watch him, right? Like, so why would you watch it if it doesn't make sense to me?
Or they did that with Floyd Mayweather his whole career too.
Right, but I mean, I was willing to watch it because I knew we were gonna talk about it on here, but I mean, I wasn't gonna drive to talk. I mean, I wasn't gonna drive anywhere to watch it, and I couldn't get a link to watch it on my phone. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna finish watching Straight Outta Compton. It seems like the same narrative after every fight. Like, oh, bro, if he was fighting a real boxer, he would have lost. But y'all say that going into the fight. Oh, he fighting a real boxer this time, he gonna lose. Like, bro, just say you don't like him and keep it moving, bro. Like, it's not that hard. Nobody's gonna fight you because you say that you don't like him. Like, just be honest. It's okay. Like, I don't get why everybody's trying to dance around everything. Like, you can have real feelings about stuff. Like, nobody is gonna put you in jail because you say you don't like Jake Paul. Just admit it.
Like, I was watching First Take the other day, and Harry Douglas, he was like, they said, how you feel about Jake Paul? He said, I want to see him get beat up. Like, what did he do to you? Like,
exactly. Like for no reason at all.
Like, why do you?
I get it. I get the running joke on Twitter that he knocked out Nate Robinson, but other than that, like, for what? Who cares?
What does that? I don't know. People need to stop thinking that everybody that's black is gonna do something for the culture like they some superhero. Y'all put too much pressure on that man Tyron Woodley. Like, he was finna change the game if he knocked out Jake Paul. Like, y'all put too much emphasis on weird stuff.
His mama named him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
Okay.
Anyway,
before we move on to our pick, the ending, shout out to the fact that Clemson was able to give Georgia the punt on their first drive, and then Georgia returned the favor. They sacked them on third down. They punting from the 3 as we speak. I picked Clemson. They picked Georgia. We're going to debut our new segment. Let's try this again next week. Score? It's still 0-0 with 6:17 left in the first quarter. Yeah.
And lastly, we got our pick the ending. This is a pretty good question. This week's question is, why can't you ask how old a woman is? This is a good question because it's stupid. How you supposed to know how old she is, especially nowadays, bro? All this makeup and weave and everybody, bruh, just know. That whoever started this sentiment is stupid. It was probably a woman. Anyway, how you feel about this question?
Okay. This started last week when I was giving Penny her shout out. Usually whenever I give somebody a shout out, I say their age, but then I thought about it. Like, at some point, this video is going to age, and then they could do reverse math and figure out how old she is. And then that got my mind working. Like, bro, why is that even a problem? Like, why can't you know? Because I've definitely have seen some females that I was interested in, and I was like, bro, how old is she? I don't know. So you got to wait. Like, you got to wait till either she say it, or you gotta like finesse somehow, figuring it out, like bring up high school or something. Like,
what year you graduated?
Okay.
That's my number one question.
Like, dang, it's been so long since I was in high school. How about you, or something like that? That's just stupid.
I feel like that only applies to little kids asking grown women that, like, you know, like a grown woman to a little kid and stuff like that, and they might be, you know, in the area. They don't want to say they.
At this point, we all grown, and I still have women say that.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to ask women how old
I don't care about that. If I'm having a conversation with you and we having some dialogue, and I'm trying to figure out anything about you, I'm gonna ask how old.
I mean, well, yeah. If I don't care and you're not gonna do nothing, I mean, it's more of a. Do I respect you enough not to ask?
What type of? I mean, but why?
Because that's why we're talking about it.
I understand. Like, why would that be an issue? If I ask you how old you is, how old you is. What you
Like,
mean?
I don't. I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. I feel like it's stupid. I saw something on Twitter. That's kind of also why we had this discussion. It was, I think that was like Ink Crew or something like that. The video where bro was like, you just mad because you look 50 and you 24. I think it is because of something like that, bro. Like, it was an old lady that looked old and she got tired of people asking her how old she was. Like, dang. Like, when Don Cheadle was like, he was 50. Like, damn. she was tired of hearing that. Like, bro, stop asking. You know it's rude to ask a woman how old it was. You know, it's probably a black woman. You know, black people just be making up stuff that ain't have nothing. Like, turn off that damn light. You know it's illegal to turn off the light.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not. It's completely legal to have your light on in your car, bro. Stop lying. But they're just making up stuff. So yeah, I feel like that's where it came from.
I mean, I guess that's an old saying now. It need to be switched up because I'm asking you how old you is. I done came across.
If you look 3 years older than me, I'm asking.
And 9 times out of 10, I've been around some OGs and stuff like that. They'll tell you their age when they start gossiping about their life and stuff. And eventually, they're gonna tell you their age when they.
That's true. If you listen long enough, she'll tell you.
And then if she look young and stuff like that. You know, and she lying, and she not trying to tell you her age. You run away.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because the people be lying about their age.
Don't trust it.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, yeah, my mind naturally was older.
I mean, so older people, like, I don't know.
If she's younger than me and I have to ask her age, I need to see that ID. I'm a bartender today. Let me see it. Nope, you can't get in this club without showing ID. Nope.
I mean, and then like if you trying to really see how old somebody is without asking how old they is, really just say things like go to like a certain year, like a certain era or something like that, and see if they can like how they talk about it.
Hey girl, how was Michael Jackson when he first dropped Thriller? What was elementary school like on that day?
No, you can't.
If she answer, run. Or, you know, you might want to stick around with her. PS5s are hard to find these days.
Well, that concludes another episode of your favorite podcast, not another sports podcast. Remember, I'm one of your hosts, Brandon, and make sure you follow me on all those social media sites at Rob Was There.
Yep, and I'm Kevin. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Vice City Kevo. And be on the lookout for High Mamba 2. It is on the way soon.
Yes, sir.
And make sure, I'm sorry, Jordan.
No, you good.
Make sure you go check out my little Catch These Vibes segment that I put on YouTube. Little performance of songs I did this year and songs off of High Mamba 2. So yeah, go do that.
Yes, sir. Follow us on all social media. Not Another Sports Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. Twitter N_A_S_podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at this_guy11, Instagram _guy_this guy11. Follow us on YouTube and Cool Telly, and shout out to our audio pages. You can find us there. Not Another Sports Podcast. We gonna get some merch soon. We got stickers made. We gonna get the shirts made. We gonna get some slides made. We gonna get all the stuff. So let us know on our Facebook, on our Instagram, on our Twitter what y'all want us to make. We will have it to you. We can get it done. It's gonna be a price though. We're not doing it for free. We're gonna put some free ones in the streets. Gotta flood the market a little bit, but we're not gonna saturate it. You know, we can't give all our product away for free. We got a bag of stickers though. We might give some out for free. We might do a giveaway. Stay tuned.
Put the weed in the bag. That's all you gotta do.
Okay. Yes, sir. But all that. Go ahead, Kevin.
Y'all make sure y'all wash y'all hands. Black Lives Matter. Don't fall for the agendas they pushing out here. Go Gators.
No cap. Wear your mask if you don't want to get vaccinated. Well, I mean, still wear your mask anyway, but if you don't want to at least get vaccinated, just go ahead and do something. Like, just don't sit on your ass and do nothing.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, go Gators. Go Gators. Go Gators. Go Gators.
Y'all niggas are retarded.
I'm dead.
Retarded. Sign the episode, nigga. was like, why is my jersey in your closet? She was like, is that your jersey? I was like, it was in my closet. It said extra large. Hey, man.
Niggas be like, how the hell they gonna tell me to wear a mask and they not wearing their mask?
Hey, man.
Bitch, do as I say, not as I do.
Kevin's a parent now. Damn it. So I ain't gonna close it. Close it.
Kevin, we have stickers.
He has.
We have stickers. Stickers.
Oh.
Can I have one? One of my cellular devices.
He said, that's a good idea. He did it.
We gotta think of something to do a giveaway for. The person with the most correct picks get a free sticker.
Hey, man.
You get a free sticker.
Are y'all niggas hooping next year? We're gonna start doing ballers life runs.
Hooping.
You know what I'm saying? In favor. I think I don't know.
Oh, yeah, man.
Hey, Jordan, can you hand me all this shit off the floor?
Look at this.
And,
We have made it.
hand me the shit off the floor.
Look like shit on the floor. There is a shit on the floor. Is that a shit?
There already did shit in the middle of the floor. Crazy. Can't take them outside. I got it.
I have on a throwback Jalen jersey.
That shit gonna be worth something. This nigga do something.
Look out. But that's a big if.
Hey, nigga. You're not gonna keep taking shots.
Bro, I gotta find a new plug, bro. That is sad. I'm sad about that.
What happened?
Cause we moving.
Oh, yeah. My plug in the gym.
Sheesh.
You know what I'm gonna start doing?
You know the TR spot.
No.
The nigga that sell dabs. I mean, I don't know how that would work with scheduling, seeing as how usually whenever I try to go get dabs, that nigga just be at work. But, I mean,
Don't she order her shit ahead of time? Same, like.
I don't know. I've never bought weed from him. So. But I do know he does have weed.
What I'm gonna start doing is.
I don't understand why the NFL is so fucking difficult. Why they couldn't put the damn check on the front?
That is stupid. You said, hey, the only thing gonna be on there is our shit, alright?
It makes sense, though.
My jersey big as fuck.
All jerseys are big as fuck. I realize that.
I think, is it room to breathe type shit?
I guess. You can wear a hoodie underneath or something.
Justin Ross is playing.
That's Skippy.
If you text the scheduling manager and tell them you won't be able to make it tomorrow and they don't respond back, is that your fault?
Nope.
You said what?
If you text the scheduling manager, you won't be able to make it, so you wanted to switch to a different thing this upcoming Thursday, and he doesn't respond, and you estimate, and you know, basically send another text again, and he doesn't respond, is it my fault?
No.
Alright, I'm not sure I do. He'll be like, you ain't do it 24 hours ahead, bro. That shit said shut 5 o'clock tomorrow. I texted this nigga at 3:23. This bitch, goddamn, all she doing is getting drunk and goddamn eating. Like, you can tell she getting fat. Trying to act like she getting thick. Like, you getting fat. Y'all cut it down,
Yes, sir. I told you we trying to get it done.